One of the biggest challenges we face on any kind of an event like this is communication between all the responders. There's been efforts at the state level that we as in the Sheriff's Office, have been actively engaged in to try to come up with a dedicated frequency, a zone for a statewide response. When you have individuals coming from Boulder, Larkspur, Canyon City, Montrose, coming to offer aid and support, and we're operating off different radio systems or different frequencies, it makes communication very difficult. Another area of concern is when an event begins, you never really know the magnitude of it. You can imagine it's going to get much worse, but oftentimes in Waldo, as well as in the Black Forest fire, what you think is the worst is an understatement of how bad it can really get. And every incident I've been on is a little chaotic in the beginning. It takes time to organize, to get an understanding of the magnitude of the event. But I think each fire we go through, we get much better at it. I know we had a better response to the Black Forest than we did the Waldo Canyon. And I know the fire we recently had out east just a couple weeks ago, it was a phenomenal response. It was well organized, and that's through exercises and tabletops and lessons learned from the events that we have faced in the last year. Now, one question that has come up many, many times over is how is the relationship with the Black Forest Fire District and the Sheriff's Office progressing? They have a new board. I've already been in contact with some of their board members, and I intend to make sure that regardless of what has transpired in the past, that we continue to serve the citizens. And if that means that I'm up standing next to their fire chief, working with him under a unified command, that we will make the best decisions we can to protect life and property. One of the areas that we feel we lacked in was the reconnaissance. The actual eyes up in the sky telling us the different directions and movements of the fire. We plan to move forward in a very aggressive fashion to develop better lines of communication and cooperation with all fire districts throughout El Paso County, as well as modify our dispatching process to better aid them in tracking their resources. And they are working with our dispatch center now. Many policies and protocols have been changed that better suit their ability to respond and track their own equipment once it is dispatched. One of the big questions that has come up lately is, are we prepared and capable to handle another disaster, whether it's a fire or a flood? And my response is this office has never been as prepared as it is today. Through the funding of 1A, we've increased our staffing in our Emergency Operations Center. We've added planners to it. We've been able to buy the equipment that we have long needed, not only for the deputies to be able to go out and perform rescue missions or search missions, but also the firefighters. Our capability has grown with our wildland fire team from 35 to 60 members now. Again, we're waiting on one final report from the U.S. Forest Service, but there are things we can absolutely preliminarily eliminate. And it's no surprise that lightning has been excluded, smoking has been excluded, campfire as a cause has been excluded, a railroad has been excluded, children playing in the area or possibly being the cause, that has been excluded. And then a category that the U.S. Forestry Service has as miscellaneous has been excluded. I don't know that we'll ever have a concrete source of ignition, but I know a lot of people have worked very hard, and I think knowing where the point of ignition actually gives us a tremendous start to try to determine that. I think is what we'll end up with is cases of probability, some being low and some being very high. And I can't comment any further until the district attorney has the opportunity for them to review the case and determine whether there is any criminal culpability or potential criminal charges.